Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Puck Witches, a vibes-based podcast where we yap about all things hockey. Today is January 2nd, 2026. I'm your host, Champ, and this is my partner in crime, Saint. Saint, how are you doing?
Oh, a little sick.
I think I got you sick.
You got me sick. You live hundreds of miles away and then gave me whatever it is you had 2 weeks ago.
Yep. Well, as always, we have a lot to discuss about this episode, so let's jump right into it. Saint, we got to talk about it. First of all, so sorry if we sound like shit. I had it this week, and then through the computer, you got it. We're going to try and keep it not disgusting, but we're working through it.
I have Gatorade and cough drops and tissues, so clearly I'm fine.
Yeah.
This is after, everyone in my household was sick, and every single person at my work was sick, and I did not get sick.
Yeah,
and
so
then
of course, the minute you let your guard down.
It was literally, we're drinking on December 31st, New Year's Eve, and I woke, I was talking to Callie at 3 a.m., and I was like, my throat really hurts. I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, no.
And then I woke up and I could feel you know when you're
I felt that earlier this week.
I was like, is it just because I was drinking? Is that what it was? And it was not. It was probably just a combination of everything, but waking up on January 1st sick as a dog.
Happy New Year!
Happy fucking New Year, everybody. Not it's looking
gonna
great
be,
for 2026.
No, it's gonna be a good year. You're getting all of the bad energy out now. That's the
true. I'd rather be
manifestations.
sick now in January when nothing matters to me. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have a lot to talk about in the actual terms of hockey. It's been 2 weeks since we've actually done a Puck Witches. And man, I don't like not having hockey on during Christmas, but also we had so much to talk about that I'm kind of glad that we didn't have hockey because now we've got a shit ton to discuss. First thing that's first, Colorado, what the fuck is happening there?
They're a problem.
They are a problem.
They're a fucking problem, and the fact that no one has been able to address this problem is really concerning to me.
Only 2 regulation losses, which is actually insane.
I didn't even look at the statistics on it, but that
has to be some of the best record in the cap era, right?
Yes, it is. It is literally one of the best in the cap era. It's kind of fucking stupid how good they are. Because, it's one thing, I literally, I think it was the Boston Bruins when they did that crazy 2022 to 2023 run is, the most recent one. But even then, that was a freak fluke. This does not seem to be that. This is, they're consistently...
This is skill. And it's one of those things where, their GM, when people mention, Avalanche did it when they went and they fixed their goaltending and they got pieces that were both experienced and still kind of young. And, it's scary and I don't like it.
I have to assume Gabe Landeskog coming back, was also a big
the heart and
motivator
energy of the
for
team.
them. Yeah. That, having your captain come back and having that security in your locker room presence was probably a big thing, honestly.
I just have to ask Colorado fans, what is it like to have your team be so goated? Y'all, how many times have they had to worry about a loss? You know what I mean?
They just know they're gonna win.
Do they not go into the game? What do you mean you don't go into games and you're not worried about your team potentially losing to a random Sharks team in January?
You're not worried about them blowing a 5-goal lead.
I don't understand. What is it like? What is it like not having to worry about your superstitions? I don't get it. I don't think I would like it if it was my team. Honest to God, I don't think I would like it. I would be waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Mm-hmm. I would be worried that because what happened last year was the Jets were on that historic tear for their team.
Their 16 to start off their season?
Yeah, it was the first time in history that someone had a 16 game winning streak at the start of the season, and we could see flaws in their game.
It wasn't luck. It wasn't entirely luck though either. They were still doing great, but it was
and then they did manage to get through at least the first round of the playoffs, but they were not. They've since fallen to 32nd.
They are 32nd, which brings up a really interesting point. First of all, if you're an Avs fan and you're sitting in the position you are right now, and you know that the President's Trophy is likely yours, do you even want it? Like,
Do you think they fear the jinx?
I fear the jinx. I don't want the Oilers to ever be the number one in the league.
Yeah.
I'm sitting comfortably at the underdog position of third place in the Pacific, and right now we're first in the Pacific, and I'm freaking out. Like, I don't like it.
I don't want to be first.
I don't want to be first in the Pacific.
Well, because the format sucks for being first. You're better off being in the wild card
Yes,
spot.
you are. Yes, you are. But again, if I was an Avs fan, I'd be kind of freaking out because, like, if you don't win the cup, well, that's it. Your team's screwed for next year because you're cursed.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little worried about them, especially because of the West. So, like, in the East, someone had shown the statistic. Buffalo is 12th in the league and not in a playoff spot. And this was like as of a couple days. This was not before they went on their winter, but it's been a couple games. So this might have changed. But at the time, Buffalo was 12th in the league and not in a playoff spot. And a team that was 20th in the league was in a playoff spot.
I remember
because
that.
they were of the East versus West. I can't even remember which one at this point. My head's just
ibuprofen
broken.
And Sudafed.
Yeah, ibuprofen and Sudafed. So, but like, isn't that crazy that
That's
like
insane.
the differential in the East versus West is that you can be 12th in the league and not be in a playoff spot. So the race is so much tighter in the East and has been for a few years, but this year specifically seems to be like, instead of everybody being mediocre, everybody's decent.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're going on tears and then they're kind of sucking and then they're going on like 5-game win streaks.
I mean, Buffalo right now is, I think they just
like
won their 10th.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Ever since the heated rivalry episode aired, where they shit on Buffalo, which was in the books. And
which was also very valid.
Yeah, it was so valid because they had the playoff curse. Like, ever since that happened, they have not lost a game, to the point that my friend Shelly, who is a Buffalo Sabres fan, is like, do I need to make the blanket of wins and losses? Because there's finally going to be a differential between, like, there will actually be wins and losses as opposed to just a bunch of losses and random wins.
Yeah, they are on a 10-game win streak. And are in a +3 goal differential for the first time in forever. But they are sitting, let's see. They are sitting outside of a wild card spot right now, which is, again, that's not great.
Yeah, the fact that you could go on a 10-game winning streak and still not be in a wild card spot is crazy. Like, but then in the West, it's kind of like you're either...
The Sharks are in a spot.
Yeah, and like the Sharks, this has been a while coming. The future is teal. They have the offensive power. And they have like random spouts where their goaltending is just fucking elite.
Yes.
I think Askarov is just like, he has randomly, like, he's young, so he has really, really good potential. So it will not be shocking when the Sharks stop being a meme and go back to being like a legitimate threat.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, the fact that you could have like the best of the best in Colorado, and then you have teams who are just nowhere near them, and they're still in a playoff spot. Yeah. The points differential for like wins and losses in the West is just stupid. It's more than like the league sometimes. Like, I just don't. Colorado is like breaking all of our statistics
and perception. Like, okay, so here's my question: do you think a fall off is coming?
I don't know. They have some people in the Olympics, which may either benefit them or curse them, where like they may get into the Olympics and it may keep them on their toes because IHF hockey is not as physical as NHL hockey. But on the other hand, they're also playing when other people are getting arrested.
Yeah.
So, and I fear that with like the Pens, because like at least Gino will have time, like all of our Russian guys will have time to rest. But like we have players like Sid, we have EK and Rickard Rakell, who are now Olympians. Like we're losing out on them resting, and I don't know how that will impact us. Like it really is kind of a crapshoot. Some people come back from the Olympics better, and some people come back from the Olympics worse.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the Olympics in a bit, but that's a whole topic. Speaking of the Pens, Sid broke the Pens points record.
He did.
Which was an awesome thing to watch. I'm glad he finally broke it, because now the monkey's off his back. He was having the time.
He had a couple snake bit days. He was just waiting for
really
game
1087 or something like that. He had to get the numerology. And gosh, numerology for the Pens is...
Numerology for the Pens is crazy. I mean, like, and it's also just like, for him to surpass Mario Lemieux in basically every category. Mario Lemieux didn't play nearly as many games as Sid due to like cancer and injury, but like just also with Sid's injuries, like where he basically didn't play for a year and a half across his career, probably closer to 2 years. And for him to do all of this is just absolutely cementing him as, like, in my opinion, I know Mario Lemieux to most people is the face of the Pens.
Yeah.
I think Sid is like the savior
it's
of the
a different
Pens
generation thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like he's who you're gonna think of for the Pens for the next probably 30 years.
Yeah,
like, you
maybe
know, forever.
Maybe even more, honestly.
Just because he's a top 5 player of all time, I think it's just like, oh, Sid and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like, you just never break it apart. And like, even like we were talking about the numerology, Tanger played his was it 1,200th game?
Yes,
I think.
Yes.
And we were playing, and the officiating was horrendous. Like, one of the worst, and the officiating this year has been horrendous in every way. Like across the league. Like, this isn't a Pen specific issue. It's just that sometimes the Pens have gotten a lucky break. The majority of the time we are not getting a lucky break. This was one of those times where we had like 14 penalty minutes and Detroit had 6. And it wasn't because we were playing undisciplined. We were, but Detroit was literally getting away with murder.
Yeah.
And then they were calling everything on us, like stuff that should like, to the point that the Red Wings announcers were like laughing about how that really should not have been a call, but we'll take the power play.
Yeah.
Absolutely egregious. Like the same level as like whatever. It was like the Panthers had 10 power plays and Tampa only had like 4 or something like that. It was that egregious. But we won. We beat the refs. We beat Detroit.
I always love when that happens. Honest to God.
It was vicious. If we lost, I was going to be so pissed. Not at the Pens, but just like at the universe.
Yeah.
Tanger got the game-winning goal in overtime in 58 seconds.
So his number on his 1,200th game in overtime when everything was going wrong.
And the game-winning goal in overtime, which is to start not our specialty. Right. This is only, I think, the second time we've won in overtime. Just the numerology is absolutely crazy. It's right up there with the fact that Sid's slap shots are always at like 87 miles. And his like 87.1, 87.5. It's just always 87 miles an hour. Like,
he's a mess.
He's a mess.
Yeah, he's the superstitious one. We've known that. That's not that shocking. But I just think it's always funny. And you said this, but I mentioned it to my father, who is a Pens fan. He was like, the Pens are the best at following narratives without necessarily meaning to. It's just the narratives are always there for them.
Yeah, like Gino last year with the Buffalo game.
Yeah.
And like Sid and Gino each getting the assist on, what was it, their 600th goals?
Yes.
Yeah, or whatever that was. I can't even remember at this point. But like, it's just always, if there's a numerology moment, we don't always win those games.
Yeah.
But like, there's always some dumb numerology moment happening with the Pens.
Narrative there, yeah.
Yeah, some kind of narrative there.
Speaking of bad officiating, Lord, why is it so bad this year? And we mentioned it last year that it was bad, right?
It was bad in a different way.
It was bad in that nothing was getting called.
Yes, it was the biggest reduction. It was like, what, a 40% reduction?
Yeah, it went from like 1,800. It was like almost 100 less.
Yeah, it was to the point that like when I talk to people about it, like in real life about hockey, and I mentioned that, their jaws dropped. They were like, "What?" Like, yeah. And it was just nothing was called. Nothing was called last year, and now this year's problem is that
it's just bad.
Apparently, it's bad in 2 ways. One, the referees on the ice suck a dick. And then the second half of it is that when these violent or like otherwise fine or suspension worthy incidents happen, the player safety does nothing. Yeah. They just get fined. Suspensions don't happen anymore.
Little fines.
Well, and their maximum fines are so low. Like $5,000 being a maximum fine.
That's quite literally chump change. Yeah.
Like a joke. It should be like increased with the cap era, in my opinion. Like, whatever the cap is, it should be like 0.05% of the cap, whatever you want to do, because then they can actually give, because now what they're doing is they're just saying the maximum fine allowable by the CBA, the maximum fine allowable by the maximum fine. What? Like, well, then we need to get a higher fine if everything is the maximum, because now there's no differential. You can't. It's just like Brad Marchand, who was always a dirty player. Like let's call a spade a spade. And he got away with it on the Bruins a lot, but he also got called.
He did get a lot of calls, and I think we say that he slowed down quite a bit when he did become captain.
He did. Over the years, he adopted a lot of basically Patrice Bergeron and Zdeno Chara were like big inspirations for him, and he and they helped mentor him into being like both a better player and just not being like that on the ice. And like he had his moments, and he's always had his moments.
Now that he's back on the Panthers, he's like,
it definitely,
woohoo!
Well, I can get away with murder. He's definitely regressed a lot because he's not captain, and then also just because he knows that it's not going to get called. Like, he's not stupid, and he has that mentality. He's talked about it before, where he thinks that it's a disservice to say that you're willing to do anything to win and then not actually do anything to win. And I kind of have to agree with him in that if you don't play to the fullest extent, you are saying that you're not willing to do anything to win. In that the league allows this.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I think that we should always do anything it takes to win mentality has cost us as a culture, both in the NHL and globally, to allow reprehensible behavior both on and off the game. Just like, it's absolutely astounding, like what these players are allowed to do off the ice or on the ice, all for the sake of winning. It's like, no, there's no morals tied to it, and you can't say that that's a good thing in any way.
No.
But yeah, so like
he punched. Well, according to player safety, he did nothing wrong. Why?
Because he's playing the Winter Classic today. Like right now while we're recording, he's playing, and they didn't want to suspend anybody on either team.
He elbowed Mike Matheson in the head, and it was such an egregious penalty that even Elliot Friedman was like, I'm surprised that there was not suspension.
He's a supplemental discipline.
Yes.
Did he even get fined?
He did get a penalty. I don't think he got fined.
No, I didn't even think there was a penalty on the play.
There was a penalty.
Oh, okay.
It was a roughing penalty, though. So not elbowing, not headhunting, nothing. And they said his gut instinct was that the reason that they didn't call it a penalty on the ice was because Marchand's elbows was low and tucked, and Matheson was low on the ice. Now Matheson's out. Like, I don't know for how long, because I'm not a Hobbs like really quick follower, but he did get he's out week to week, I believe. And I just think I know that the real argument is that the reason he didn't get it is because, it was called on the ice. I still don't agree with it, and I still don't agree with the fact that, maybe it was called on the ice, but he's still fucking playing in the Winter Classic tonight. Is that the entire reason?
Well, it's sort of like, how did Aaron Ekblad get away with PEDS and allowed to play in the playoffs when in any other league he would have been out for the season. Like, you would not be allowed to play in the playoffs because it's just not acceptable.
Yeah.
And again, it's an over the whole league an issue. Apparently, this is the rumor mill, that the guy in charge
George
of the
Paros.
the guy in charge of the refereeing. I can't find this tweet, mostly because my head feels like someone's squeezing it. That it used to be that referees were on not a merit system, but basically you had to work your way up. You had to referee in the ECHL, then you had to referee in the AHL, and then after the AHL you could referee in the NHL, and you basically could not just come onto the ice without having some kind of tenure and experience in other professional leagues, because being in the NHL, and like, you need to know your fucking job. Like, this is the top of hockey. And apparently that is no longer the case.
Well,
so, and it's kind of showing in the way that, like, what's his name? Cody Beach, who was refereeing last night, Garrett Rank, like, it's egregious. It's egregious. Like, you do not like the Pens. They gave Rusty a fucking, like,
an unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah.
He was like barely even swearing at them. I'm like, you are soft. Like, you're refereeing hockey. Get a fucking thick skin, you big baby. Like, they're rightfully calling you on their shit of over penalizing the Pens and not calling Detroit, which anyone with a brain was like, yeah, this is absolutely what's happening. And I can say the same when it happens to us. Like, there's been times when I'm like, oh, we're getting away with murder right now. Or not necessarily that, but just like, oh, they're giving us a lot of calls in their favor.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to admit when that happens, because it usually comes all the way back around.
You love it when it's your team.
Yeah, and I don't even love it when it's my team, because it's just, because then I know, like I said, no, it's going to come back around, like in a game like this, where now you're playing against the referees and the other team. And then when the other team realizes that they can get away with murder, they do. Like, they will start playing dirtier because they know it's not going to get called.
Yeah. And again, the Panthers are not the only team that is playing dirty. We are not saying that. What we are saying is that they are playing a lot dirtier and getting away with a lot more. And if you disagree with that, you need to get your eyes checked.
Yeah, because it's like, it's again, it's across the league, but when you have
one team
that is getting like 11 penalties called in their favor.
Yeah.
So 11 power plays in a single game, which breaks records. And then the other team is getting like four in a game. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And I know there's dirty teams. It's suspicious when you know, when you can look and see what is happening here, where like you can egregiously see this hit is not called any other time, but you've decided to call it now.
Yep.
Or this is like
the egregious tripping on Seth Jarvis.
Like egregious tripping where it's like, how did you not call that? Or like, just there's no excuse and there's no accountability to it.
Yeah.
Where like, I think it's this in football where like there's just zero.
Well, you know what they found out in football is that they found out that they were cheating for the Chiefs, and look where the Chiefs are now. So anyways, Panthers, keep your eyes up because it's coming for you.
I think karma will eventually come back around. They'll say we're crying into our 2 cups, but like that reputation, once you stop being the golden child.
Yep.
Because I think that like there's arguments to be made that whoever's the top of the league, whoever's bringing in the most revenue, whoever's their new market, or the team that they're trying to market the most, that's who's going to be a favorite. Because for a while it was Vegas. It still is. They had one of the lowest penalty minutes called in the league. Still do. They're in like the bottom of the penalty minutes called league of the league. Like, it's going to come back around to you because like we've seen with the Lightning, they're willing to take the hits so that they can, you know, show you that they don't give a fuck. Like they're willing to start playing just as dirty. Even though they know they're going to get the calls because they're sick of it.
Yeah.
And someone's going to get really, really hurt out of this. Again, I actually already have. Like, people have already gotten hurt, missed games from it, but it's just...
Speaking of the Panthers, they are currently playing in the Winter Classic in Miami, and it's quite warm. Quite warm. Team said the ice is good, which is shocking to me.
It's 65 degrees there.
It did not look warm, or it did not look good on the ice. But
that one picture showed the ice like cracking.
Yeah. But what do we know? We don't skate or anything. The only person who said it was shit was Will Coyle. Which was, you know, honestly good for him for actually being like, yeah, no, it's not good. But I do think it's interesting. So to build the rink. I know that we're talking about the game, but nothing's happened right now. Unless
they're scoreless.
They're scoreless. To build the rink, they had to use multiple generators, 2 18-wheeler coolant trunks, approximately 20,000 gallons of water, and around-the-clock care starting in mid-December. However, they said it was easier to plan and execute because it wasn't outdoors in a colder climate, and I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that it was warm, that like you're not worried about your like union guys being out.
Oh, look, the Rangers just scored.
Oh, sorry, rip. I did see that the face. I want the Panthers to win just because I need the Rags to lose. But I did see the cute little like the hash marks for the face-offs.
Yeah,
half of them were suns and half of them were ice, and I think that's
cute.
Really cute. The arena does look good. I just like, it looks good. I can see why it was easier to build, that it was warmer. Like, you weren't dying of the cold. Speaking as someone who is currently living in a place where we just got 7 inches of snow the other day, like, and you can't be doing anything out.
I will say that them showing up in like Bahama shirts and like sports cars tops down, Miami Vice style. That was really cool.
Mhm.
Hate that it was the Panthers, hate that it was the Rangers. Could have been any other team and I would have been more happy.
It's funny because they almost always do this where it's like they have to, because they're doing it for the stadium series too.
Yes.
They always have like an original 6 team and then whoever like the quote up and comers are. So like Tampa, like whatever market they're trying to get to, that's who they're doing.
But I mean, I've been seeing everybody on social media has been like posting pictures, and this is our first Winter Classic. I don't think we paid attention last year. Was there one last year?
We did not. There was one last year.
It was Rangers again, wasn't it?
Yeah. Shit, now I want to look. Hold on.
It was on New Year's Day and nobody watched because it was on New Year's fucking day.
That was the problem. Is like, or it was on. It was on New Year's Eve.
It was on a holiday. And
it was the Blues. Was it? It's hold on. Winter Classic. Yeah, I do remember that.
Rangers scored again.
Are you kidding? Oh, it was. I remember. It was. St. Louis Blues versus Chicago.
I don't remember that game at all, but again, I don't care about either of those teams. It was a holiday, so I was not worried about it.
All games were played on New Year's Day, except for 2012, 2017, and 2023, which were played on January 2nd due to New Year's Day falling on a Sunday. So it is kind of weird that this one is played on the 2nd.
You get more money on a Friday.
Yeah, that's true. And more likely for people to travel, like my cousins are traveling from Sunrise to
Miami.
Yeah, to Miami. And like I'm sure other people would be doing the same, that they would be flying. Like if it was us, we would make it a weekend.
Yeah, so exactly. But there's been a lot of pictures posted of the previous ones, other than the Dallas one, which I think is still my favorite one, of Corey Perry walking off the ice.
Very funny. Very, very funny.
It makes me wonder, do you think that Winter Classics should only be held in northern cities?
Yes, I think the problem is that we have it's no longer a Winter Classic. Okay. I have no problem with this game. It just shouldn't have been called
a Winter Classic. Okay.
Because it's not where there's winter. It should have been held in New York. And I don't like we talked about it on like other like on other social media, and people were discussing it. I would have no problem if you had a third game that was like the Sunshine Classic or Summer Classic,
okay.
Like, some other name. Just name it something else. But if it's in the winter, it should be anywhere in the cold, in the north. And I would be fine with it not being necessarily in a home city.
I can see that.
So like they're having this in Miami, right? This is not the home of the Florida Panthers.
Right.
It's not the home of any team. That's totally fine. We have so many places in the United States that are cold.
Yeah.
Play them there. Like make them destinations, like play them in Salt Lake, play them like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many places across the United States that you could have played this, or even Canada. It doesn't have to be in the United States. Like it's a Winter Classic. It should be in winter. I have no problem with an outdoor game in Florida. It just shouldn't have been called the Winter Classic.
Yeah. I agree.
Make it do the stadium series, do something else. It just doesn't evoke. Like there's no chance of snow, and the whole point of the Winter Classic was to make it feel like pond hockey, like where you're out there and it's in the snow. Like that's what it's supposed to evoke. And so not having that is just, I don't know. It's again, nothing wrong with this whatsoever. I love this. It looks really cool. I loved the branding for it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, did they build this arena? Like how did
it's a baseball arena.
It's a baseball. Okay.
Yeah.
But then they could have done it like how they do the stadium series for like, football. Like they go and take over stadiums. They could have done something like that where like they called like field takeover or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Come up with some other branding. I would be fine with that. Have 3 different outdoor games. Have the stadium series, have the Winter Classic.
I think that there's something so special, and you can attest because you kind of live close by, is the Buffalo games where they're outdoors and everyone comes together to shovel the snow.
Yeah.
Like that's fun. And it's
the Bills pay $20 an hour.
And give you food and hot chocolate.
And like, yes, Highmark or wherever that stadium is should probably like pay like a regular staff. But I also think it's just funny.
It's also, it's culture. It's part of Bill's culture.
At least as long as they're paying $20 an hour. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're paying a minimum wage in New York as of January 1st is now $16 for upstate. So for Buffalo, that would be $16 an hour is minimum wage. So they're paying above minimum wage.
Yeah.
And giving them food and drink, which is more than most jobs do. So I have no problem with it. I think it should be Like, yeah, I think it's fine. But like, yeah, part of like football is going out in the cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hockey, just for ice reasons, I understand we can't do that all the time.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
I think it's more fun when it's outdoors in the cold. Like, that's just my hot take.
Yeah, because that's what I believe almost all of the winter classics have been taking over, like Wrigley Field. Or,
yeah, I know that the Nashville one, it rained before, and there was just a puddle on the ice.
Yeah, that's not
maybe you don't need that, but
and I guess the problem is, like, people were pointing out, well, Colorado, it was 67 one year, like, or like in the 50s, because of global warming and climate change. You can't really.
This is just a testament that we need to do better with our climate.
Yeah, truly. If you want outdoor hockey games, you know, we need to take care of our climate, because this shit
Stop using AI.
At least we finally are in my city. At least finally has a true winter again. Yes. We haven't had like actual winter since probably almost 10 years ago. Like the last true winter storm I remember, it was 2014, and it snowed like
that was a
14
crazy
inches.
Year. Yep.
That was the year I couldn't get out of my driveway. Like they had like a travel ban where unless you were going to go work as emergency services, you were not supposed to leave your house. And this year we've just had some heavy snow, but like a city near me had more snow this December.
I saw that
they've had in the past, like, what, 10 Decembers.
Yep.
Like, so we're back, but like, you know.
All right. Not everywhere. So here's my question, and it's the question that writer Arna Okal asked. Now that Florida's off the wish lists, where would you like to see an outdoor NHL game held? Here's some of their lists, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Utah. You could do the Mammoth.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty fair.
The Rideau Canal, which is Lake Tahoe. I think that would be cool.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't read this full article, but this is hilarious. Okay, number 3 is Istanbul. I think that'd be interesting. I don't see it happening. But like going to soccer stadiums for like Sweden, Finland, or Chechnya, or even, I know that we've talked a little bit about it, doing Munich for Edmonton next year. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Can I convince you to fly to Munich?
Probably not.
Yeah, I think it's a long flight for you.
It's kind of funny how like the majority of the winter classics have been like the Blues, the Bruins, Chicago. Yeah, like I said, it's almost always like a
original 6.
And it's not always baseball, by the way. It's mostly baseball, but there has been a couple like college football.
Yes.
They did like Notre Dame and like Heinz Field and stuff like that. But like, it is funny how like some teams just have not even, like, you know what I mean? Like we're on our 17th game, and Chicago has had 5 appearances. The Bruins have had 4. The Blues have had 3. The Pens have had 3, but they had theirs like almost all back to back.
Yeah,
Rangers have only had 2. Caps have had 2. Red Wings 2. Sabres 2. Flyers 2. And then everyone else was the Stars, the Canadiens, the Maple Leafs, the Kraken, the Wild, the Preds.
The Kraken have gotten one?
Yeah, remember it was their sick ass beautiful. They had one of the best jerseys.
Oh, that's right. They threw the fish.
Yep. Yeah, they threw the fish.
Yep.
And then now it is the Florida Panthers.
Number 4, and this is the one that made me giggle, a VR environment.
What?
Such as the Digital Coliseum, Sydney Harbor, Mars, Tatooine. The possibilities are endless.
No.
And then the number 5 is kind of what we were talking about, which would be other neutral sites. So like in 2019, it was the Jets and the Flames in Saskatchewan, which is, I think, one of the ways you do it for Canada teams. Places that like haven't got the chance to see an NHL game, perhaps, unless it's in their home province.
Kind of crazy that, like, when you look at the list, it's, first of all, viewership has gone way, way down.
Well, then don't hold it on the holiday.
Yeah. But also, like, when you look, let's see, it's the Leafs, the Habs, and that's it. Every other team has been at a US team. So it's kind of crazy that they don't, like, it's a winter classic. Like, I understand that Bettman loves the United States, but like, it's just crazy that you don't have like a Canadian special, even if it's US versus Canadian special would be cool. Canadian special. Like, but yeah, like, especially if you're going to have 2 outdoor games a year, you have the Stadium Series and you have the Winter Classic. Why not just have like a cool, even come up to like, you just have to be
Quebec.
in Toronto. Yeah, but Quebec, or like, you know, outside of Toronto, like there's so many places that would have accessibility to people to come for vacations to come watch the games, and Canadian attendance, they always show the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I just feel that it's crazy that you just haven't had a Winter Classic in Canada.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, Saint, do we have a sponsor today?
We do have a sponsor. Sorry. Today's sponsor is St. Astra, Twitch streamer, cosplayer, and artist. You can support her by purchasing from her Etsy or subscribing on twitch.tv/St.
She needs it for the medicine.
Use your free Prime sub and get access to awesome emotes. St. Astra's Etsy also sells a variety of jewelry and decorations and trinkets. Everything is handmade and crafted with a perfect balance of love and spite. All proceeds go directly to the St. Astra NyQuil Fund.
All right, let's turn to our one-timer topic of the week, where we take one shot at the biggest story. Saint, this week's topic is the Olympic roster's been released.
Oof.
Oof is correct.
Oof.
So, where to begin? I guess Canada can go first, because Canada was released less first.
Awful.
It was less awful. It's still pretty bad, though. So let's take a look. Canada has its beloved team member. Let's see, where is the list? Those are the forwards, which are that's insane. There are some on there that make my brow like go up, but
why the fuck would you put Tom Wilson in there?
Why would you bring Mark Stone?
Yeah, there's like Wilson and Stone, and even Reinhardt. I haven't looked at his stats this year. But
he's a solid.
Wasn't he like a ghost in Four Nations?
He was a ghost in Four Nations. We also have the defensemen. We got Drew Doughty, okay, Thomas Harley, Cale Makar, Josh Morrissey, Colton Parayko, Travis Sanheim, Shea Theodore, and Devin Tays. Again, some names on here that make me go, okay. And then we have Jordan Binnington for the goaltenders, who's their starter. Oof. Darcy Kemper and Logan Thompson. Those are the big changes. Obviously, with Four Nations being top of mind, it's a couple changes. But here are some of the notable differences. Number one is obviously Macklin Celebrini. I don't think he was ready for Four Nations this year. I do think he's ready for Canada's team in the Olympics this year. Do you agree?
I think he is ready. I'm happy to have the youth.
Yes.
I think it is very obvious, this roster, how much it comes down to A, old boys club, and B, how well you schmooze.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Because there's a reason other players were not. Like, Connor Bedard, I don't think necessarily he should have gone to the Olympics, but I think it's interesting that Celebrini was picked over Bedard when Bedard didn't even get into... Because Bedard wasn't in Four Nations either.
No.
And that was like a meaningless tournament. Like, it meant a lot. You know what I mean? But, like, It wasn't the Olympics. It's all politics. Everything is always politics.
We have some pretty big snubs here. So one could argue Matthew Schaefer. I don't think he's ready. I think he will be in 2030, but not yet.
I think if you're gonna put Celebrini in there, he's proven so quickly to be one of the most important members of that team.
Yeah,
I just don't know why you don't bring him. Just to get him I get it because he's such a rookie, but also like I feel like it was not a like you need the youth, right? You need somebody who's
he's got a 90% WAR, 99%, excuse me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like I think it's just crazy that
my guess would be that he's not proven like in anything.
The Olympics is a different stage versus like, but again, I think you should take one young risk. With a
defenseman, yeah,
on every spot. So like not goalie, but like you should take a young defenseman and you should take a young forward because you want somebody who the vets are gonna like want to coach, mentor, and then you want somebody who's young who's gonna be hungry. You know what I mean? It's just like, and how do you get
Sid in 2010? So he'd been in the league for 2 years.
Yeah, he had been in the league for a little bit. It was just a timing situation where some players are.
We also have, I would maybe consider this a snub. You can make the argument, and it's Evan Bouchard. I think he's worthy of it over somebody like Drew Doughty.
Yeah, I think that, like, to pretend that he doesn't have a ton of experience when he's gone so far into the Stanley Cup Finals, playing for your country is just a different, it's just a different beast. I can see why they didn't pick him, but I do think
he has his moments, and I'm not going to deny them. But
yeah,
anybody who calls Bouch a bad player who doesn't deserve to be on Team Canada is just blind. I don't think you're seeing clearly. We also have Mark Scheifele, who, that one shocked me because he's currently sitting, what is it, 4th in the points for Canada?
Yeah, I was surprised. Seth Jarvis is on
injured reserve or injured whatever it's called.
Yeah, he's on their like backup list. But I was surprised at Scheifele. I thought he would have gotten in for sure just on points. I noticed looking at the list, the majority of the players are between like 28 to 30s.
Yeah, and then you've got Sid and Marshy and Mark Stone and
so it's like you have like the youngest player is Macklin Celebrini at 19. Everyone else is in their late 20s to 30s, and then there's like maybe 1 or 2 players who are in their early 20s.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty old. Like, I understand that that's their mindset of like they want to they tend to have a mindset of like players earning their spots through time and like putting in the work, and I just don't agree with that to a degree. Like, you know what I mean? You have to, like, how are you gonna pick Jordan Binnington over the other 2 Canadian goalies who have a
Wedgwood, Blackwood,
like
both of the
neither of them, like, that's crazy. Like,
I'm glad that they got rid of Aiden Hill. Like,
yeah, like I'll take Kemper over Hill, but like it's just like, I understand you want people who are secure and stable, but just like maybe 1 or 2 younger guys would have been better.
Yeah. The one name that surprised everybody, including Friedman, which I always use him as he's the balancing act. Sam Bennett is left off of Team Canada.
He was left off in a way that surprised me, in that Tom Wilson was like, did they not like his play in 4 Nations? Because that's the closest I can think of as like,
he's also just not having a good year.
Yeah, but neither is Reinhart. Like, Reinhart's not doing great either. Like, there were other players that I feel like you could have put on. Like, again, he was kind of invisible in 4 Nations. Like, Bennett, at least, if I remember in 4 Nations, like, because he was doing well with Marshy, wasn't he?
Yes.
So, like, to have him as a liney with Marshy would have made sense. I'm not sure if I would have. I don't know. I guess Sam Reinhart has a lot of pedigree on the international stage, but like, I just, it's weird. It's weird how they're picking certain players over others when you could argue in one way or the other.
I do think that this is a strong team.
Other than the goaltending,
we're ignoring the goaltending because Canada has never had good goaltending. Yeah, and won't for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. This is a decent lineup. Like, yeah, I think it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. But compared to Team USA.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad I'm rooting for Canada.
Yeah.
Really glad I'm rooting for Canada, because let's talk about it. Who do you think was the biggest snub for Team USA?
I mean, I have two, which is the 2 you listed. Jason Robertson, it's just racism, right?
Yeah.
Like, at this point, to call this dude soft when, have you seen him play?
Yeah.
They called him a one-trick pony. Have you seen the rest of your fucking roster that you're saying isn't a one-trick pony?
JT Miller's going!
You're taking JT Miller, notorious locker room cancer. You're picking the Tkachuk brothers, one of which still has only, like, just what? Is he even playing?
No.
Yet? Like, severe injury? Like, what the fuck are you talking about to not pick either Adam Fox or Jason Robertson?
Adam Fox was shocking.
Well, and because it's like it's a bias, right? Like because they have who's in charge of the teams is also involved
Bill
in the NHL.
Guerin. Yeah.
So you're gonna pick JT Miller and Vincent Trocheck over fucking Adam Fox? I would not be surprised if Fox gets so pissed he asks for a trade.
Yeah.
I'm legitimately would not be surprised at all. And you're gonna
Adam Fox was the one that went, because it was rumored that he and Jason were not going. There were like musings before it got released.
People were talking about was Robo too young, but he's not that young.
No.
But just
for me, it
Fox
was just
not going is insanity.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's one of the strongest defensemen on the East Coast.
He's the one who makes me mad because I want him on any team but the Rams. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's young. He's incredibly talented. He just has to play for the fucking Rangers. Here's the stat that shocked me, okay? 5 of the top 10 Americans in scoring will not be with USA. So we have Jason Robertson with 48 points, Alex DeBrincat, who had 41 points, Cole Caulfield, who has 40 points, Lane Hudson, who has 40 points, and Trevor Zegras, who has 39 points. Trevor Zegras, I don't think he was ever a really contention spot.
No, he is very spotty, and his skill is in shootouts, and he's not necessarily, no. Jason Robertson not getting picked is just racism, plain and simple. There's just literally no other choice when the commentary that was made about him not making the roster by the executives, it was just but you put this person on instead. I think the common mentality right now is that everyone's talking about is United States never got over the Miracle on Ice.
I know exactly what narrative you're talking about. Is it the quote from what's his name? Sean Shapiro?
Yeah, they want to be the underdogs.
USA's hockey crowning moment back in 1980 set an ethos through the team does not need the best players, but rather the right ones. 45 years ago, and 0 Olympic golds later, they still overly embrace the underdog mentality and belief that when building an Olympic team, roles are the most important thing.
They're not even filling the roles. How are you going to talk about a one-trick pony and then not fill him in the role of a goal scorer? People talked about this where it was if you could have 6 Sid Crosbys, you're going to fucking put them on there. This isn't the NHL. You don't need a 4th-line player when you have all top 6s. That's the whole point of the Olympics, is to bring in the best of the best of the best, because you're going to be going against other teams who are bringing in their best of the best of the best. It's just absolutely insane to me. And the USA deserves to lose. Honestly, they do. There's no reason that they should be bringing the players that they're bringing. Because, let's see, they have Brock Faber, Noah Hannafin, Quinn
Brock
Hughes,
Faber, I agree.
Seth Jones?
Yes! Seth Jones is the surprise.
Seth Jones
made it over.
You're going to pick Seth Jones over Adam Fox? Are you smoking crack? And I don't care that because some of this literally just screams that they're picking people based on teams and not on actual play. What are we talking about here?
I would rather you leave JT Miller, and I understand that Mike Sullivan's the coach, but then leave JT Miller at home. He's going to cry about it anyways, because he's not going to get the playtime he thinks that he deserves. And bring Adam Fox if you really want to win. And here's my question, okay? Do you think that they went with they didn't take Adam Fox because they have such good goaltending?
I don't know. I think it's just dumb.
I think it's just stupid. You've got Connor Hellebuck, Jake Ottinger, and Sway as the goaltenders, by the way.
Yeah, which is Hellebuck's been, but they're 32nd in the league. Yeah, Hellebuck has had some health issues, but Otter is fantastic. Sway has been fantastic. They're back in their grooves. I think this ESPN article is giving them a little credit than they deserve. I think that the United States roster is well-rounded, but I just don't think that they picked the best.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not saying players like Seth Jones are awful. I'm just saying that
he's not the best. He's not.
Yeah,
he's
objectively,
physically not.
How do you pick him over Adam Fox is crazy.
There was a North American all snub team Did you see this one? This one makes
No,
me
I
giggle.
did not.
Here, I'll send it to you. This is both Canada and Team USA because it's North
Yeah,
America.
this is the snub. This is we're gonna go play for a fake country now.
We're gonna go play for a fake country now. I think that this team
is not bad.
It's not a bad team. I think it could.
This team would beat a lot of teams. This team would beat a lot of teams in the Olympics. Like,
it's man, I feel for the people who did get left off the roster, and I know it's tight, and I know it's something that you really can't, like, you can't take everybody that you want. But there are some players that make me go, well, why would you leave them at home? Seth Jarvis is a big one for me. And I know he's hurt right now, but
he's on the backup list, which is fine.
But he was really, really a moment of heart in the Canada's locker room for Four Nations. And that's my question. Do you think that Four Nations bias has anything to do with this?
I actually think that it's surprising that more of the Four Nations didn't impact it, because they've kind of done a little bit of a runaround with like some of the same players that you would think that, oh, well, now that we have so-and-so, we can let this other person stay home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It gives me a headache. And I think Canada is lucky that they left Jason Robertson and Adam Fox at home. As somebody who is rooting for my captain rather than my country, which is a crazy sentence to say, but
yeah, no, I'll be rooting for the United. Yeah, I'll be rooting for the Canada for most of these. I don't know how they think this is gonna go, but I don't think it's gonna. They hope, especially with, as we've mentioned before, their all-star medical team for Team USA. Charlie McAvoy like it was kind of a fluke. Go wild. Like, you could say that, like, oh, it was a freak accident that he had blood poisoning, but like,
then they had all of last year that was crazy. It's just
they've had a lot, and then that when they said like, I just
I agree.
I do not have a lot of confidence in what's going to happen next.
The only blessing is that there are not likely to be as many fights, and maybe not.
There are no fights. They're not allowed to fight.
I said what I said. Not as many.
Uh-huh.
And then we have also Finland released their
and Sweden did too.
Yeah, and Finland is just Team Dallas. Good for Dallas. And then Sweden. There was a name on here that made me go, wait a minute, why isn't he included? And that is Matthias Ekholm. Oh, and Ollie didn't get included. I don't think Ollie doesn't surprise me.
Well, Ollie is on a break.
Yeah, he's on a personal leave.
He's on personal leave. So I think that was
I think that probably affected his play. I think you're right. But Matthias Ekholm, here's my controversial take. As much as I want him to represent his team in what is probably his last Olympics, I am selfishly not mad that he's not going. He got fucked up in last year's Four Nations.
Yeah, and as an Oilers fan, you're delighted that he's not going to get hurt.
As a person fan, I'm so heartbroken for him.
Yeah, because I just don't know if I see Broby as being a better defenseman than Eki.
I don't think that I think that Broby's a better defenseman than a couple of the players on that list, but it's one of those things where I after what happened in Four Nations, I think the outcome of of the Stanley Cup might have been better if Eki had been at his full health.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Four Nations, excuse me, the Stanley Cup Finals would have been better if Eki was at his full health. And so it's selfish of me to go, well, thank God he's staying home, because I want him to succeed and I want him to play on the world stage.
And
but
it feels like the Olympics are less risky.
I know.
Four Nations. Four Nations was pretty fucking risky in a way that I don't think anyone expected. They were playing so hard in NHL terms. They were playing.
They kind of had to, because the fate of the U.S. and Canada was at stake.
but you know what I'm saying? That the Olympics are hard in a physical way.
Yes.
But they're not gonna. The hits that we play in the NHL that are just walk it off hits are penalties in the IHF. So as someone who did not really pay attention to hockey that much in the Olympics before, we watch all when the Olympics come around, everybody watches everything, but it wasn't I didn't have the puck knowledge that I do now.
Right.
It'll be interesting to really notice any differences.
I'm excited. I am excited.
Yeah,
for the
I'm very
Olympics.
excited.
It's sad for the people that did not make it.
Yeah, especially because I feel
guess we
like
still have a month. We might have a different team by that point.
Well,
considering
that's the thing,
Bo Horvath is week to week because of an injury. I don't think he'll miss the Olympics, but that just goes to prove that there are people who are yikes. When it comes to, hey, y'all could get injured every 5 minutes. So
yeah, that's what I think is kind of brave about some of the U.S. roster too. Is multiple people on that roster are already injured or in some way like risky health wise, like Jack Hughes, like I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting Olympics, I think. I hope it's interesting. I don't want it to be like
boring.
Yeah. I don't want it to be boring, but like I also don't want my team's players all getting fucked up. So like
all right, well, let's move into Sportsmanlike Conduct, where we spin the wheel to pick our team of the week, and no matter who it lands on, we have to see something nice and spread a little love on the ice. Saint, man.
We're doing a lot of shit talking. I don't know who we're gonna get.
Let's see. Watch it be a team we did not mention once. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself.
This is so funny. It's on brand right now. Yep. It's because it's the Winter Classic. Right this second. Getting it all out of the way early, champ. Woo!
Last year was so nice because we talked about the Panthers after we went to Pantherland.
After we went to Florida, and it was fun.
And it was fun, and it was before Brad Marchand got traded. Now it's just the
You guys have Brad Marchand, and that's about it.
The Florida Panthers is this week's Sportsmanlike Conduct, and we have to be nice.
We have to be nice. I am glad that Marshy has a home there, and that they seem to have embraced him very thoroughly, including like having the little bits of like pelting him with rats, and like the people definitely seem to, both as fans and the team, have made it a second home for him.
After after having such a brutal departure from the Bruins.
Yeah, I do like the community outreach that the Panthers do. They do a lot, and they do have a really cool, the War Memorial where their practice facility is, and where like their main shop is really fucking cool. Yeah, and it's like it's a nice arena too. Like they have a lot going on there.
Yeah. Anyways,
I would like the Panthers a lot more. Things weren't happening. They were happening.
I was just gonna skip my session, but I guess I have to give one.
Just one thing, champ. Just one thing.
One thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Come on, they've got good jerseys. Their retro jerseys are sick.
One thing. No. I only is coming to me for some reason is that they had the spot where you could put "Welcome to the game" champ and Saint when we went with your cousins.
That was so funny. It was so funny.
I like their club seating. That was nice.
Yeah, I do. Their club seats are really cool. I
really like that their Pantherland store is in the actual arena. That was a really cool store.
Yeah, they have two, because they have the War Memorial store.
Yeah, which is like it's also cool, but there's something like special about like when we go to the Penn store, it's nice because the Penn store is in this it's the flagship store, but the Pantherland store was huge.
Yeah. It was cool that they had like this massive off-campus store and then a massive store,
and they were different
at the arena. Yeah, and then they had like the little pocket stores, like one was for like the game used equipment. I
like that I like that they have "Get Loud" as their intro song. I don't care about anybody on the team other than Brad, and Brad he's on thin fucking ice. He's on thin fucking watery ice in Miami right now.
They also, I like their campus. Like when we went to their campus,
there's a really good picture of you and I out front. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. It's a really cool, like big open campus that like it kind of turns into a party. I think there's two kinds of ways to have an arena. One is like the Panthers, where it's a huge campus so that they can host events outside and have like vendors and like people can walk around because it's a place with a lot of nice weather.
Yeah.
And then there's places like Boston where you want it to be dead center in the middle of the city, so you're just walking around and there's the arena. Like those are the two kinds of arenas.
And there was like shelter so that you weren't fucking freezing in the wind.
Yeah.
It was cold. Don't get me wrong, it was cold.
Yeah, it was.
But you were sheltered from the wind.
Yeah, because it was in the city.
I will say I have one complaint, and this is my not nice moment of the day. Panthers, give away some pucks, my guys. Like, where are your game pucks?
So, because I got a puck from the Stanley Cup Final Game 3, I think.
I also did.
Like,
you got an actual puck.
I got an actual puck. But they don't. This is one weird thing, because we've now been to quite a few arenas.
Yep.
They're the only one we've been to as of yet that does not sell game day souvenir pucks. They're not warm-up pucks. They're souvenir pucks that have the description of the date and the two teams playing. They only have leftover warm-up pucks that they sell like after warm-ups are done.
Yeah.
And it's just like we ended up getting just like normal
commemorative pucks.
Yeah. But just it's weird. Like, because every other single arena we have been to, they sell souvenir pucks that are for that day's game, not just any generic souvenir.
And the Panthers looked at us like we were crazy when we asked for
them. Yeah, we thought we were gas because we had only been to, at that point,
I've been to Seattle, Pens, and
Vegas. And we were like, no, like, I promise you, every other arena does this. And then we went to Boston later, and I'm pretty sure Buffalo does it too, even though I haven't been to a game there yet. But like every arena we have been to does this. I could be wrong. Maybe there are other arenas that don't do it, but I think it's a missed opportunity for them. Yeah, because we were talking about how, like, for a lot of people, going to a hockey game is a big deal. Like, you know, if you don't live in a hockey city or like an NHL city, you don't get those opportunities. So for people who go to Pens games, and like, you know, us, we only go to a Pens game once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Usually only once. We want a puck to commemorate that because we only go once a year. If you're going every game, that's not a big deal. But for a lot of people, that, I don't know. Yeah, I wish still to this day, like, what? You don't do that?
Well, that's nice. Anyways, Panthers, I guess I can't even say anything nice about you. I've done my nice part for the day. So
yeah.
That's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Folks, we really appreciate you listening through all of our rants and ramblings. The Puck Witches podcast is released on all social media platforms, and you can join the Night Witches Discord via the link below to talk about the episodes directly, as well as enjoy our other channels. It's full of gaming, hobbies, and good vibes.
Make sure you're following us over on Twitch, and if you want to support us with a Twitch Prime on either or both of our channels, you get access to cute emotes and extra channel points. If you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky for updates.
And lastly, don't forget to check out Saint's Etsy or subscribe on Twitch. She really needs that NyQuil, y'all. Also, consider dropping a like on this episode and subscribing so you never miss a video. We love you all and hope the hockey season is treating you well. Champ and Saint, signing off.
Stay witchy.